Hey guys, welcome back to Scooby Forever and another review on the channel. Today, I've got an exciting one. I'll be reviewing Go Away, Ghost Ship. Now, I've chosen to review this episode. So yeah, if feel free to comment down below any episode that you want to see reviewed, and I should be able to get to it not next week, but by the week after. Anyways, let's get straight into the review of Go Away, Ghost Ship, which is, I believe, I can't quite remember now. It's like the 13th or 14th episode of Season 1 of Scooby-Doo.
What's that? The ghost of Redbeard.
But yeah, nice creepy start. We have a ship sailing at sea, and the captain is looking through some binoculars, and he spots a pirate ship, and he says Redbeard's ghost under his breath, and then he hears the laugh of Redbeard. And then they cut to the gang at the famous malt shop, of course, and they're, getting their drinks, and Shaggy's getting his burger, and they're reading the newspaper about how every night a ship full of like crates and stuff, like who's trying to deliver stuff to C.L Magnus, is getting like basically ship smashed by Redbeard, and all their cargo is lost at sea and stuff like that. Anyway, the gang go to try and visit C.L Magnus, but they can't really get past his butler, so they sneak in with nice disguises, but their disguises don't fool C.L Magnus, and C.L Magnus tells them about how it's Redbeard, and Redbeard's ghost is the reason why his business is doing so bad, and all his ships are getting, ship smashed, and he's in a bit of trouble, and the gang want to try and help him, so they go out late that night to see if they can do something. But yeah, the gang go sailing out in their little speedboat. They've got the engine, but when Shaggy pulls it back, it actually goes flying. So now they're without an engine, so they're just sailing at sea. They're looking for the cargo ship that Redbeard always attacks. They quickly find it, and they also see Redbeard's pirate ship, and the ghost rams into their boat, forcing them to jump out into the sea. Now Shaggy and Scooby escape through a porthole, and Daphne, Brett, and Velma climb up the side and hide behind a few ropes and boxes. Anyway, Shaggy and Scooby go in through the porthole. They land on a hammock, and then they go in search for the other members of the gang. Now this was a little bit hard for them, because they keep on getting distracted by a few things, like a photo of Redbeard. Scooby doesn't know if it's real or not. Shaggy doesn't think it's real. Now, when Shaggy leaves, Scooby draws like some black glasses for Redbeard, and then it goes all bad because Redbeard then moves the portrait out the way and tries to attack him. So he whelps to Shaggy and says that the painting moved. No, he just says it's his imagination. Then he hears Redbeard's laugh, and they take off. Now, in this next part, the other members of the gang, Velma, Daphne, and Fred, they get onto the boat. It didn't take long for them to get onto the boat, but they did get onto the boat. They snuck on, and they start looking around. Then we cut to Shaggy and Scooby again, who lock Redbeard out. They're still being chased by him. Then the ghost sword comes through the door. I like the ghost sword edition, because it's just a sword flying around by itself, trying to chop them in half. Anyway, when Shaggy and Scooby finally lock the sword out, they realise that they're back in the same room that Redbeard was in, and he's got two helpers, and they capture them. Then we see Velma and Daphne and Fred again, and this time they're below deck. They're searching the decks for any clues, and Daphne and Velma making a few jokes, and then they hear a big laugh. I think it was Fred, but it was actually Redbeard. So they see Redbeard, with his back turned to them, going into a room. So they go into the room, but then Redbeard was like hiding behind the door, and he was quite smart and locked them in. Inside, obviously they panic for a bit, and then inside the room they find some dry ice, and it's making like fog and stuff, and it's like pointed in like the right way as well. So Velma's very, very suspicious of that. Anyways, they're locked in. And then Shaggy and Scooby again are captured, from before. So they're like moping. And then they agree with Redbeard that they have to make ghost pirate stew for him. Now, Shaggy and Scooby start putting a whole bunch of stuff in their little cauldron. They put like some chains, some cobwebs, some ashes, I believe, from the stove fire, and it's like all sizzling away, and then they put some soap in it, and that really ruins it. Then Redbeard wants them to eat it, and they have to eat it. When they start eating it, they start soaping away. All they can taste is the soap, so I don't think they should have put that soap in. Anyway, they eventually get away. Then it cuts to them trying to get away from the other two ghost pirates. Now Shaggy puts on a paper pirate hat and pretends to be Redbeard and scares them off. And then they hear Redbeard's laugh and they run away again. They're hiding behind a little fishbowl again. Like, not a fishbowl, don't know really what it is. It's a big circle dome. Anyway, they're not looking where they're going. They fall off the side of the plank, and now they're in the water, but they're on the same side where Velma, Daphne and Fred are, and they start talking to them, and then they go into Skull Island, the pirate ship, and Shaggy and Scooby are still trying to capture up to them, but yeah, anyway, there Redbeard tells them, he locks them up in chains and says, he will stay until we can turn you into ghosts as well. But yeah, Fred grabs like a few straws and a bit of gum because he sees the key, but it's too far away, and he grabs the key and unlocks the chain. Then they follow Redbeard, but they don't know which way he went. There's 3 tunnels, and then they run into Shaggy and Scooby. Now, Fred tells him to take off that silly paper pirate hat he's still wearing and realises it's a clue. So Shaggy's been wearing a clue for like a few minutes now. And basically, it says that it's like it's like a schedule of when all of C.L Magnus's ships will be running and whatnot. Anyway, they find a good clue there, and then they go. They pick one of the tunnels. Then they come to like a dead end, but there's like a pirate chest there. They open it up, and a giant skull head jumps out and says, "What's the password?" They try and guess the password. Shaggy somehow guesses the password, and like a secret door opens, and so much cargo, all the cargo from C.L Magnus's ship, hiding in there. Anyway, they start walking through, but then they see Redbeard and the two helpers, and they go chasing after them. Not much they can do. Shaggy and Scooby hide behind some boxes, and then the ghost sword comes again, tries to attack him. They eat some Scooby snacks and get away, and then they're fighting the sword with some liverwurst. Well, you don't get liverwurst in Australia, if you didn't know. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, they go to the other little barrel and drink some oil because the ghost sword made a leak. Meantime, Fred, Velma, and Daphne capture the other two with like suction cups and hang them onto the roof. Shaggy and Scooby see Redbeard. They try to attack him with an egg beater, so they get away and they go on an automatic pogo stick. But it turns out to be a jackhammer, and they're jackhammering the roof. They fall down, jackhammer Redbeard's pants, jump on his back, and crash into a whole bunch of tyres, and the other two fall down into the tyres as well. So, now the reveal. It turns out to be C.L Magnus. He was just trying to steal his own cargo ship and all his cargo and, get away with it. The other two were just hired henchmen. The gang thought the butler did it, the butler from earlier on in the episode. But yeah, still pretty good episode. And yeah, look, Redbeard wasn't bad. He wasn't bad. He did pretty well, but not well enough. Now, the ghost sword was operated by wires and stuff, and the dry ice that Velma, Daphne, and Fred found in that locked room would eventually turn into fog, making that mysterious, spooky fog. Yeah, everything was just a cover so they could get away with all the cargo and loot.
Nice going, kids. Uncovering these phony ghosts and their ghost ship is a job well done.
Thank you, sir. Now, let's see whose glowing phosphorus face Redbeard really is.
Mr. Magnus! And I thought like the butler always did it.
But who are the other two?
Hired henchman, I guess.
Mr. Magnus was just about to lose his steamship line unless he came up with a lot of money.
And what easier way than to hijack your own ships and sell the cargo?
They had a pretty neat ghost setup, even down to the ghost sword operated by wires.
Yes, but where did that mysterious fog come from?
Simple, like dry ice.
Dry ice?
Sure. All they had to do was drop the dry ice over the side of the ship.
And everybody knows when dry ice mixes with water, it makes a real spooky fog. Show 'em, Scooby.
What?
And then at the end of the episode, Scooby shows them how they made the dry ice, and then he cuts two little circles and pops them both out and makes a donut. And starts eating a foggy donut. Anyway, that's the end of the episode. I give this episode a 9 out of 10. I love Redbeard. He's such a good villain. One of the best. And you got the other two as well. I would have liked to see who was behind the mask, but didn't really affect the episode. The ghost sword was great. The pirate ship I really loved. When I was a kid, I thought the pirate ship wasn't utilized well at all, and they should have done a whole lot better with it. And that's probably why I was giving it like 7.57 out of 10 as a kid. But now I've learned to love it. But I still feel like it was underutilized a little. Skull Island, though, not the first time this has appeared on the channel. Skull Island appeared in Old Iron Face, which is already up in the channel, so go check that out. But this is the first time Skull Island really appeared in Scooby-Doo, and yeah, I thought that was utilized quite well in the caves. That was good. But not too much characters, only the butler and C.L Magnus. So yeah, not much there. Would have liked a little bit more, but still a pretty good episode. I hope you enjoyed the review, and stay tuned for next week where I will be reviewing American Golf and Omelets Are Forever on both Saturday and Sunday, and also more of HBO Max's Velma. So stay tuned for all of those. I'll see you guys next week.